Pakistan, officially the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, is a country in South Asia with a rich history and significant geopolitical importance. Established in 1947 as a homeland for Muslims in the Indian subcontinent, Pakistan has evolved into a nation with a diverse cultural heritage and a complex political landscape. Turkey, officially the Republic of Turkey, is a transcontinental country located mainly on the Anatolian Peninsula in Western Asia, with a smaller portion on the Balkan Peninsula in southeastern Europe. Founded in 1923, Turkey has a unique position bridging Europe and Asia, both geographically and culturally. Iran, officially the Islamic Republic of Iran, is a country in Western Asia with a history dating back to ancient civilizations. Established as a republic in 1979 following the Iranian Revolution, Iran has a rich cultural heritage and plays a significant role in regional and global affairs. Saudi Arabia, officially the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, is a country in the Middle East occupying most of the Arabian Peninsula. Founded in 1932, Saudi Arabia is known for its vast deserts, rich oil reserves, and as the birthplace of Islam. Egypt, officially the Arab Republic of Egypt, is a transcontinental country spanning the northeast corner of Africa and southwest corner of Asia via the Sinai Peninsula. With a history that dates back to ancient times, Egypt has been a center of civilization, culture, and religion. These countries have played pivotal roles in the Muslim world and continue to influence global politics, economics, and culture. These nations, with their unique political systems, cultural influences, and economic power, have become key players on the global stage. Their influence stems not only from their strategic locations, but also from their military, economic, and political capabilities. Pakistan, for instance, has a significant military presence, being one of the few nuclear-armed Muslim countries. This provides it with a strong deterrent in regional conflicts, especially with neighboring India. Its geopolitical significance is further highlighted by its strategic alliance with the United States and its involvement in Middle Eastern and Central Asian affairs. Turkey, once the heart of the Ottoman Empire, has long held influence over both the Muslim world and Europe. Turkey's modern military and economic power, combined with its NATO membership, have made it a key player in regional security, particularly in the Middle East and Eastern Europe. Its role as a bridge between cultures, combining both Western and Islamic traditions, further enhances its global stature. Iran's role in the Middle East cannot be overstated. Since the 1979 Islamic Revolution, Iran has been a major political and military force in the region. Its involvement in conflicts in Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen has established Iran as a dominant player in regional geopolitics. Iran also possesses significant natural resources, particularly oil and natural gas, and has a well-equipped military, including a ballistic missile program and nuclear ambitions. Saudi Arabia, with its vast oil reserves, is one of the wealthiest nations in the Muslim world. It holds enormous influence within the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, and plays a key role in global energy markets. Saudi Arabia's religious significance is equally important, being the home of the two holiest cities in Islam, Mecca and Medina. It has also been a leader in supporting Muslim causes worldwide, particularly through financial assistance and diplomatic efforts. Egypt, with its historical legacy as the cradle of civilization, remains a significant regional power. Despite its political challenges over the years, Egypt has one of the largest and most powerful militaries in the Arab world. Its strategic location controls the Suez Canal, one of the most important global shipping routes. Egypt's influence extends across the Arab world and Africa, where it has played a critical role in various peace efforts and diplomatic initiatives. These 5 countries represent the diverse spectrum of power within the Muslim world, blending military strength, economic influence, religious significance, and strategic positioning to shape global dynamics. While each country has faced internal and external challenges, their combined impact on world affairs remains undeniable. Their leadership roles in the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, further cement their status as influential voices in the global Muslim community. As these countries continue to evolve, their influence in global affairs is expected to grow, but not without facing ongoing challenges. The political, economic, and security dynamics of the Middle East, South Asia, and North Africa, where these nations are located, are subject to rapid changes, often influenced by both internal issues and external factors. Pakistan, for example, faces ongoing challenges in balancing its relationship with global powers while dealing with internal political instability, economic struggles, and the complexities of regional conflicts, particularly with India and Afghanistan. Yet its strategic military alliances, including with China and the U.S., as well as its geopolitical location, continue to keep at the forefront of global discussions on security and counterterrorism. Turkey's role as a regional power is also becoming more pronounced, particularly under the leadership of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. With a focus on expanding influence in the Middle East, Africa, and even parts of Europe, Turkey is positioning itself as a power that balances the East and West. Its involvement in Syria, as well as its energy initiatives in the Eastern Mediterranean, are reshaping the political landscape of the region. However, its internal challenges, such as rising inflation and political polarization, could influence its future trajectory. Iran, while a key military and economic player, faces significant international pressure due to its nuclear ambitions and regional interventions. Sanctions, particularly from the United States, have placed a strain on Iran's economy, yet it continues to exert influence through proxy groups and its leadership role in organizations such as the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC. Iran's strategic objectives are not only regional but also global, particularly concerning energy security and its pursuit of regional hegemony in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia's leadership is equally influential in the Arab world. Despite its immense wealth, largely driven by its oil reserves, Saudi Arabia faces several challenges, including diversified economy in the face of fluctuating oil prices and its involvement in the Yemen conflict. The kingdom is also navigating its domestic socio-political landscape, with the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, pushing for reforms while attempting to balance conservative Islamic traditions with modernizing efforts. Saudi Arabia's vision for future, known as Vision 2030, aims to shift its economic reliance away from oil, positioning the country for more diverse global engagement. Egypt, a country that has long been a key player in the Arab world, remains influential due to its leadership role in the Arab League and its military strength. Despite its political instability in the past decade, Egypt has managed to stabilize its internal situation and emerge as a regional power. With its control over the Suez Canal, Egypt remains a critical player in global trade and maritime security. However, its economy still faces challenges, including poverty and unemployment, which could undermine its future stability and power. Together, these nations shape the political, economic, and cultural fabric of the Muslim world and play vital roles in international affairs. Their policies, military actions, and diplomatic strategies will continue to influence global power dynamics for the foreseeable future. As they navigate both internal reforms and external pressures, these countries will likely continue to wield significant influence within both the Muslim community and the broader international system. Their ability to adapt to the changing geopolitical landscape will determine whether they can maintain or enhance their positions as the most powerful Muslim nations in the world. As these nations continue to evolve in the complex and shifting landscape of global geopolitics, their relationships with one another and with external powers will remain crucial to shaping the future. The growing competition for resources, shifts in regional power dynamics, and the potential for new alliances or conflicts will undoubtedly influence their roles on the world stage. Pakistan's alliances with both China and the United States, for instance, are a strategic balancing act. Pakistan's economic cooperation with China, particularly through the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPC, is a critical part of its development strategy. However, tensions with neighboring India continue to be a persistent challenge. Pakistan's role in the ongoing conflict in Afghanistan and its impact on global counterterrorism efforts also ensure that the nation remains an essential actor in regional security. Turkey, with its increasingly assertive foreign policy, is positioning itself as an independent regional power. The government's policy of neo-Ottomanism seeks to reinstate Turkey's influence in the Middle East and parts of the Mediterranean, leveraging its military and economic resources to strengthen its presence. Turkey's involvement in the Syrian conflict and its complex relationships with NATO, Russia, and the European Union highlight its desire to maintain autonomy while navigating a delicate geopolitical environment. Turkey's support for various factions in the Libyan civil war, as well as its growing partnerships with countries in Africa, also underscore its ambition to expand its influence beyond the traditional bounds of the Middle East. Iran's geopolitical strategy revolves around asserting its dominance in the Middle East, particularly in countries like Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, and Yemen. The Iranian government continues to back Shiite militias and proxy forces, which has led to confrontations with Saudi Arabia and its allies. Iran's nuclear ambitions, despite negotiations and international sanctions, continue to shape its relationships with Western powers, particularly the United States and Europe. Iran is also involved in the evolving energy markets of the region, with its oil and natural gas reserves playing a significant role in its economic stability. As the nation deals with internal economic pressures and a young population dissatisfied with the current regime, its leadership faces both external and internal challenges that could influence its foreign policy. Saudi Arabia, under the leadership of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman MBS, has embarked on a series of reforms aimed at modernizing the country's economy and society. These efforts include expanding tourism, diversifying the economy through initiatives like NEOM, and granting women more rights. However, the kingdom's involvement in the war in Yemen and its human rights record, especially in relation to the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, have drawn international criticism. While Saudi Arabia remains an economic giant and a key player in OPEC, its internal transformation faces resistance from conservative factions, and the volatile nature of global oil markets remains a risk to its economic future. Egypt, despite its history of political upheaval, remains a stabilizing force in North Africa. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's government has strengthened its grip on power since taking over in 2013, securing alliances with regional powers like Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Egypt's military is among the strongest in the region, and its role as a peace broker in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, along with its influence in Africa through the African Union, ensures it remains relevant in global diplomacy. However, Egypt faces significant economic hurdles, including high levels of debt, inflation, and unemployment, which could undermine its ability to exert sustained influence in the future. In addition to these individual national efforts, the collective influence of these nations within international organizations such as the United Nations, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, and OPEC cannot be understated. These countries have worked together on a variety of regional and global issues, from economic cooperation to military alliances. Their collective actions have had lasting impacts on global oil markets, trade routes, regional security, and the global Islamic identity. The future of the most powerful Muslim countries in the world hinges on their ability to adapt to the changing global order, particularly as emerging technologies, shifting alliances, and environmental challenges reshape the international landscape. With new powers like China and India continuing to rise, the traditional balance of power may be altered, and these nations will need to carefully navigate their relationships with both established and emerging powers. In conclusion, the top 5 most powerful Muslim countries, Pakistan, Turkey, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt, will continue to be key players in shaping the future of the Muslim world and global geopolitics. Their strategic decisions, both individually and collectively, will have lasting consequences, not only for their own citizens, but for the broader international community. As they navigate the complexities of modern geopolitics, their continued influence will depend on their ability to adapt to a rapidly changing world while maintaining their roles as powerhouses in the Muslim world.